first article here is from mortgagenewsdaily.com. Why are people moving into tiny homes? I don't know. Mortgage volume index at 28-year low. Mortgage applications fell again last week as interest rates rose into the high 7% range. The Mortgage Brokers Association said its market composite index, a measure of mortgage loan application volume, decreased 6.9% on a seasonally adjusted basis from 1 week earlier and was down 7.0% on an unadjusted basis. There was a federal holiday, a Columbus Day, obviously, during the week, but the MBA did not find it necessary to adjust its data to account for the limited impact on mortgage activity. The refinance index decreased 10% from the previous week and was 12% lower than the same week 1 year ago. Let's move on here because I want to keep on layering this on. And let me tell you something. Here's the thing. If people accept that tiny home stuff, it's only going to continue to be a race to the bottom. I'm telling you, sooner or later, the next tiny home is going to be a freaking box, a tent or something. Where does it end? You get what I'm saying? No. Always shoot for the moon, shoot for the stars, want something better for yourselves. I'm not really talking to you, but I'm saying I hope this is what people will cultivate as a mind state. Never want less, never accept less, demand more, but be willing to work for more, but demand more. People are losing that mentality. They're accepting anything. And the so-called powers that be, the corporations, the governments are pressing the people down, all the while destroying their fiat currency value. That purchasing power of the dollar has been going down rapidly. Check the charts. OK, and be careful with that dollar. Be careful with that. Be careful with all fiats. I know a lot of you play with a lot of different things, but a lot of you are wise as well. You have something else that you're preserving your value with. So I get that. Very wise people here. Now, this next article is from barons.com. I like this website. Very reputable, good articles. And it's titled, "Climbing Mortgage Rates Are Keeping Home Buyers Away." And see, and this is why they're getting away. All these places are getting away with murder. Apartment prices through the roof. They're selling you tiny homes, right? Or no, then that's not the only thing I saw. So they're pushing tiny homes and they're pushing, what are those things called? RVs and mobile homes. They're pushing that now. But then I saw something, I saw a lot of people reporting that those were sold out. So now it's a little bit more difficult because so many people are on hard times. It's a little difficult to get those mobile homes and RVs and such, which I think they're a little bit costly as well, right? So now more people are looking at tiny homes. See, like the choices are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and they should be, if everything was functioning correctly, soft landing, no problems, like the Fed says. If that were true, things should be growing and options should be expanding, right? As society and humanity, if it was, advances, right? So climbing mortgage rates are keeping home buyers away. Brace for another hit. How many people really know this information? It says existing home sales data for September, set for release this week, is expected to show that sales slumped. Of course, they can't get mortgages. Everything is messed up. They can't afford the homes anymore. Sales slumped to the lowest level in more than a decade as mortgage rates rose. Says, then they say this, they say more bad news around the corner. That's their words, not mine, right? A lot of people, they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear about the problem. And that is a problem in itself. If you don't take a look at the problem, you cannot repair the problem. If there's a hole in front of you and you fall in that hole and you just delude yourself, say there's no hole, you're going to continue to fall in it. But the wise person who looks down and says, oh, there's a hole, that's why I fell, fills it in, maybe goes around it, finds a solution where they don't fall in the hole again. They never have to worry about that problem. And they can move forward in life safely. So you have to examine the tough stuff. You have to do the tough stuff. You have to look at the problems so we can solve the problems, right? Or else you're going to have a very problematic future. So now let's move on here. A little bit more housing. It never ends. So the housing market is unbelievable right now. Home buying. So we have this article. This is from marketwatch.com and it's titled, "It's a Tale of Two Housing Markets." This is how they're phrasing it, with buyers and sellers at opposite ends. This is from the Fannie Mae CEO. You know, it's funny. I think I posted this in my crypto channel's members only section. I wonder how many people actually read this. the information we're covering, at least here on this channel, is very significant. My word. It says the U.S. housing market is pushing buyers and sellers to opposite ends as one group struggles with affordability while the other is locked into low rates. It's a quote, it's a tale of two markets, unquote. Priscilla Almodovar, chief executive of Fannie Mae, told MarketWatch in an interview on the sidelines of the Mortgage Bankers Association annual conference in Philadelphia. Quote, homeowners are in good shape because they probably have low equity in their homes. They probably have a mortgage that's 2, 3, 4%. Oh, yeah, you know it. Unquote. It says, she explained, which is why a lot of people aren't selling. It says, but are constrained by a, quote, lock-in effect of not giving up that mortgage, unquote. Of course, why would you go out of that good thing and go into whatever's happening now, which is very bad? Roughly 92% of U.S. homeowners who have mortgages have a rate below 6%. According to a June analysis by Redfin. But as the 30-year mortgage rate inches closer to 8%, homeowners may have a little interest in selling their home. That's what I've been saying. I've been saying that. Oh, my word. And people don't get it. I'm like, who's selling that has that going on? It's not going to happen, right? So since they may have to buy another with a higher interest rate. Yes. On the flip side, buyers are also contending with mortgage rates at the highest level in 23 years and are dealing with low inventory due to homeowners not selling. Inventory, well, it's not just that. Come on, you're trying to put it all on the homeowners. But also, let's be clear, a lot of those one-family, single-family homes that they've been building, right? And I do it just like that because I feel like when I think about that, I look at how crazy they were building was all purchased up by the big companies, and the big companies are sitting on them. Why? To turn them into apartments. That's why. You know how that works. But anyway, so don't try to just put it on homeowners. Right? Anyway. It says inventory of homes for sale shrank by 4% in September as compared to the same time last year. Or rental properties, however you want, apartment, rental property, however you want to say that, right? It says shrank by 4% in September as compared to the same time last year, according to Realtor.com. The median sales price for an existing home was $407,100 as of August, up 3.9% from the prior year, according to the National Association of Realtors. Fannie Mae expects mortgage rates to stay in the 7% range through most of 2024 before ending the next year at 6.7%, according to its latest forecast. So things are getting crazy, folks. And we're going to end off here. I'm going to skip the gold news for today. Gold has been looking good. The future definitely looks super bright with all the geopolitical tensions. We're going to skip the gold news. I want to go to this electric vehicle battery news. So I was talking about this on my crypto channel, but I didn't use the article. I was trying to save it for this channel here. That there's a lot of problems with the lithium ion batteries. Now, I think I used the phrase restricted, but let's get the actual information. I may have used the wrong phrasing, but still there is a shortage, or there's going to be a problem with electric vehicle batteries. This article here is from oilprice.com, one of our favorite websites, and it's titled EV battery costs could surge by 22%. Now, make no mistake, the geopolitical tensions definitely adds to this. It says here, the renewables MMI rose 6.27% due to factors such as increased silicone demand, with neodymium and grain-oriented electric steel markets also seeing gains. Then it says, next bullet point, the lithium-ion battery market faces challenges related to safety concerns and potential raw material shortages. Not only that, but there's a lot of friction going on back and forth between China, the biggest producer of lithium-ion batteries, and United States, where they're cutting each other off deliberately. And sometimes they make these excuses, oh, there's a shortage of materials, but not really. You look at what the United States just did. That was yesterday or the day before, where they're cutting off China from the semiconductor chips, the AI-based semiconductor chips, again, a little bit more. They're tightening up that even more. So then China's like, well, okay, we want to do that. All right, we'll show you we'll show you by taking certain activities with the lithium ion batteries that you need for your electric vehicles that you want to push. You see how that's going? So there's a lot of that going on as well. A lot of jousting. It says, which could impact EV battery costs. But that's not the only thing. So, of course, it impacts the battery cost, but it impacts the overall price of those vehicles across the board. Keep that in mind. So you have the cars, but people forget now you have a lot of the trucks are electric vehicles now as well. So that's going to possibly affect, just like a shortage of diesel would affect the price of goods, because it has to be transported back and forth. That would also affect, theoretically speaking, if lithium ion batteries become a problem, acquiring them, then that would affect the price of goods as well. Could possibly affect the price of goods as well, because it affects transport. A lot of trucks are electric now. A lot of these, just as an example, Amazon delivery vans, just for you to get your stuff you ordered off Amazon. A lot of them are electric, right? And sooner or later, they have to replace these things. I'm sure they try to order them to keep them in stock, so that way when they have to be replaced, they have some on hand and not just ordering on the spot. So all of that, it could come into play. So just keep that in mind. That's why I think about when I look at this article. It says raw material scarcity, refinery capacity, I said this, didn't I? Geopolitical tensions are factors affecting the availability and cost of materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel for EV batteries. So we're going to leave it there, folks. The world is heating up. We'll see how everything continues to go. We're definitely going to survive it, not just survive it. We're going to thrive through it and tighten up our belts. We're not going to be not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just speaking for myself, screaming it to the sky. But, we're going to tighten up our belts, be wise with our capital, and and make sound decisions, right? That's how I personally feel. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? Tomorrow, we'll come back with a little bit of stock market news. We're light on that this week. A little bit of stock market news, volatility index news, and et cetera, mix it up a little bit. So until next time, let's get to the money.